Hello, everyone. I'm Nadia Raphael Rathje from Copenhagen, Denmark, Aarhus University, and Copenhagen University College, and I'm happy to share a brief presentation about my recently defended PhD thesis. Network 30, Environmental and Sustainability Education Research, has invited me to speak without slides, so instead, I'll begin by lighting a candle. In this winter darkness, my candle represents Danish hygge, coziness, but also hope, courage, and the activist, rebellious, and utopian perspectives that resonate with our work in this field. My PhD, a monograph written in Danish, allowed me to deeply explore empirical practices. Although the Danish may not be accessible to all of you, I'm planning to publish English articles soon. Here it is. And the dissertation is titled More Than a School, a study of the practices of 3 schools and their work on education for sustainable development from a whole school perspective. Several Danish primary and lower secondary schools are developing green or sustainable profiles on their own initiative, despite its limited policy support. My research focused on a why, what drives the commitment to sustainability in education, a how, their pedagogical and didactic approaches and practices, and how these relate to their school development, and a where to, their dreams, visions, and utopian imaginings for their schools and their role in working to create a more sustainable world. Using a multiple case study approach and taking the whole school approach seriously, I conducted interviews with many kind of participants: school leaders, teachers, teaching staff, janitors, students, parents, boards. I observed ESE-related activities like classes, meetings, and events, and I facilitated future workshops with both adults and students. My theoretical framework is grounded in practice theory, particularly chemists and colleagues' concepts of practice architecture, which help me connect situated practices at schools to their contexts and broader societal structures. My research has 2 main aims: to investigate these schools from a whole school perspective and to critically examine the whole school approach itself, not to impose a best practice template, but to question and nuance it. Some of my key findings. The schools focus on outdoor learning and project-based or problem-based learning as a part of their ESE profiles. However, they give less attention to the social dimensions of sustainability and the practical, handcraft-based or aesthetic aspects of ESE. Another finding: they emphasize the importance of understanding sustainability and fostering critical reflection, reflecting a Bildung, formation-oriented and pluralistic ambition for their students. Yet, systemic barriers in school organization often hinder deeper transformation. Supporting or norm-supporting structures, capacity building, and shared leadership are crucial here. And also, the participants' cultural preconception of what school is and can be is important to take into account. Another finding is that participants highlight relational communities, democratic participation, and well-being as essential for ESE. And many link a safe and supportive community to building trust and courage to act. I discussed this finding in my dissertation. On one hand, the schools appear to lead an affective turn in ESE, focus on relational, sensory, and emotional aspects that is also emerging in the research field. On the other hand, it may also be understood as a kind of avoidance, a focus on the safe and small-scale community that sidestep the global, complex, and often uncomfortable and discomforting dimensions of sustainability. The empirical whole school perspective shows that ESE development thrives when seen as a collective learning process, something we're all learning together. My work with future workshops and visioning processes supports transformative and transgressive thinking among participants. Interestingly, their visions often align with the whole school approach, emphasizing systemic connection between green transitions in schools, local communities, and the learning of all participants. Based on this, I suggest that the whole school perspective should be understood less as an implementable best practice model and more as a transformative, reflective, and utopian ideal. Transformative because it seeks to create change, reflective because it fosters dialogue, inquiry, and shared learning, utopian because we need to imagine new ways of creating meaningful lives, and ideal because it is something we strive toward rather than something that can simply be implemented. Thank you for listening. I hope this gives you a glimpse into my research, and I look forward to connecting with you further. I'll do my best to keep the candle lit. Bye.